guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tosin for those that are new here, and in today's video, as you could have seen from the title, I'm going to be talking about the almighty UK spousal visa. I know, right? I never thought I'd actually do this video, but you guys like the videos. About 200 people like the videos, so I was like, alright then, okay, we're on to something. So yes, so I'm going to be doing the video now. If you're interested in this video, please, it's going to be a long one. I'm sure it's going to be a long one. Take your time, take your biro and your paper, and yes, let's get right into the video. Okay, so first thing, if you're watching this video, I presume that you have a spouse that lives in the United Kingdom, or you live in the United Kingdom. You want your spouse to join you in the UK. Now, the reason I'm doing this video is because when I was applying for my own UK spousal visa, there weren't a lot of resources out there to help me, as my application was from Nigeria. A lot of the resources that I saw online, besides the UK Gov website, which I recommend that you take your time and you study the website, read the fine print, download all the PDFs, all the application forms, read it. Read to understand. Don't read to cram. Read it to know it by heart so that you don't miss any important information. Reading is a skill, guys. Reading is a skill. So yes, when I was going on, I found a lot of resources on UK spousal visa from India, from Bangladesh, from Canada. But literally, the only resource that I found from Nigeria were my friends that's gone through this process, and maybe all these forums that everyone there is just desperate. They're not willing to give out a lot of information. I did the video on Nigeria's civil wedding system, which was a hit. Like, a lot of you guys found it very useful, brought so much joy to my heart. So I hope that this one also does the same. So first things first, this video is not for people that are trying to deceive the United Kingdom. This video is not for people that are doing arranged marriages. This video is not for people that are just desperate and want to leave Nigeria. This video is for people that are absolutely in love with their partners or their spouse. They are God ordained because marriage is sacred. This video is for people like that. I'm not gonna tell you otherwise, obviously, because my channel is a faith-based channel. So that is the audience that this video is for. So moving on quickly. Yes, so now that you're in love with your spouse, you've been engaged, you're trying to move abroad, the first thing I want you to do is to take out your time, as I said, download the application form, go online and read all the requirements. Now, there's a financial requirement, there's a residency requirement, there's a health surcharge requirement, there is a proof of relationship requirement, there is test of English requirements. I'm going to start from the most important one, which is the financial requirements. Your spouse or whoever is sponsoring you, you cannot sponsor someone from Nigeria. So even if you have billions of naira, as long as the money was not earned in the United Kingdom, as long as you're not the one bringing someone into the UK, it doesn't count as part of the application. The money must have been earned in the UK. Your spouse or you that you're sponsoring the person must be the person that earned the funds. Now, I think it's about £18,700. If I'm wrong, I'll put the figure here, I'll correct myself. Or you can have the equivalent in cash savings. Ensure that you have the money in your account for, I think, a minimum of 60 days. You guys, I'm going to put a disclaimer at the base of this video. Everything I say in this video, please take out your time and research it by yourself, because you guys know the UK laws keep changing, especially with this Brexit thing. It keeps changing. I think every April they renew their website, and I think it's even currently under beta phase, so there may be new laws. So as I'm telling you this, by the time you're watching this video, this information may be obsolete as regards the figures. So if you don't have that money in cash savings, what you can actually have is you ensure that your spouse earns over that per year. So we're looking at about 22k or about 19,000 thereabouts per year. He earns over that, or she earns over that, whoever is sponsoring earns over that. So once you have that sorted, check. Next thing, your relationship, proof of relationship. Now, not everyone was like me, Shara. I like selfies, I like pictures. So throughout the course of our 2-year courtship, we have pictures, and not just pictures, we have pictures with family and friends. We have pictures from my cousin's wedding. We have pictures from like monumental places we had visited. We have pictures at the airport. We have pictures from our relationship. So peradventure you don't have pictures, that may be a red flag. Obviously, because the immigration worker working on your case is not like a body, it's a case worker. Your job is to show the person that your relationship is genuine. So I encourage you, all your pictures, don't delete them, have them backed up, and check that your spouse has copies as well, just in case you lose them. Your pictures are important. Now, proof of relationship besides pictures. Now, I've had stories that they actually submitted their wedding albums and they still got denied. Because anyone can stage a party. They are more interested in the course of the relationship rather than your wedding or your Ikoyuka 3 picture. Everybody and every Tom, Dick and Harry could just go there to take pictures, you know. But more pictures in the course of relationship. Another thing, that a tip that my friend gave me, was to date the pictures. So when I printed them out, yes, you have to physically print them out. You can't submit CDs. Albums are a waste of money and waste of time. You don't need to send your albums. Just about 20 pictures. I sent about, I think, 25 in total, because we had a lot. So I sent them sequentially. I started from when we started dating. I dated it at the back. So let's say you started dating 2014. You put it there, June 2014 at University of Glasgow, June blah 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 at Buckingham Palace, all that. That's one, pictures. From there I went on to when we got engaged, the pictures from my proposal. I went on to our registry pictures, our white wedding photos, our traditional photos, just like that. You know, you can do maybe three pictures per life events and just put them together. So that's one for pictures. Another way to prove your relationship is travel tickets. Now, obviously, I'm an accountant. I keep records of everything, and I'm an accountant by training, not like I'm practicing. Yeah, so I keep records of everything. One thing that also really helps me is I had all my tickets when I come to the UK for holiday, when I, you know, go to Glasgow to see him as well, even when he came to Nigeria, I had like all the tickets. I ensure that if you don't have them hard copy, I even added like the boarding passes, because I tell you guys, man, I keep everything. So I added my boarding passes. That's the long, you know, the rectangular one. I added that. You don't need to do that. You can just go back on your email and try to print out the tickets and date them. So you do LHR. So let me say London Heathrow to Lagos, or Scotland to Lagos. So I put them, and I put the dates and the years. And I had over, I think I traveled twice a year throughout the course of our relationship. So I had over 8 tickets to actually present. Then that was another way I proved our relationship. Also, another thing my friend did in her own application was to submit the receipt of her engagement ring. I don't have that, and I couldn't put in the application. But what I did was I printed out my husband's bank statements, which will be required in the financial requirements. I will discuss that later. And I printed out his bank statement, and I actually took, for the last 6 months, and I took a pencil and a ruler and I underlined every single place we had a financial transaction. Maybe it's him sending me money, me sending him money to buy me stuff, just, you know, my name showing, Tosin, his name, just that back and forth, because I feel like if you're dating somebody, you should have at least some financial, you know what I mean. So that's that. You could do that. Another way to also prove your relationship is emails, text, and letters. So we send lots of emails to each other. I went on my computer and I went back. I just typed his name on my email, and every single email, that's obviously not a lot, maybe 10 emails, just from when we started dating, you know, our wedding planning correspondences, when I involved my wedding planner, talking about how to pick suits. Those just shows that you guys are not fraudulent, you know. You can actually just print it straight from your email, but you can even do a pick stitch just to save paper. But that's what I did. Then our WhatsApp chats too, we were able to do that. If you have Facebook chats and you guys chat a lot on Facebook, there's a way to download your transcript from Facebook. Obviously, no relationship is perfect. You don't want to put the parts where you guys are arguing and cursing each other out. If you do, which is ungodly, you just want to put the parts that, you know, daily communication, not necessarily I love you baby. In the application pack, I also added like a supporting letter. We both wrote letters explaining the relationship from our own perspective. Oh, my name is so and so and so. I met my husband so and so and so. We fell in love and got married to so and so and so. We've been cutting for so and so and so. In this application, I've added blah blah blah, and I'd really appreciate it. You can just write one letter, but we wrote individual letters, just explaining things from our own perspective. So that's another way to prove your relationship. Another requirement you need by the Home Office is obviously residency. Now, obviously, if you say you're coming to the UK to join, so you guys are going to live in a place. In the application form, you would see that they would ask you to talk about where he lives, his address, the kind of house, how many rooms are there, to ensure that you can accommodate both of you. Even if it's a room apartment, trust me, it's fine. You guys are just two. they'll ask you how many rooms besides bathrooms, toilets, and living rooms, as at the form I'm talking about. You need to put that there. It's important that your spouse doesn't live in a shared accommodation. It's important that your spouse gets a place not like a month before you apply, at least 3 to 4 months before you drop your application, before you put in your application online. Do you understand? So ensure that he has a place to live that is convenient for both of you to live. Also, for your residency, it's not just enough to just get the place. You need to get a letter from your landlord. This could be your tenancy agreement, saying your husband's name, Mr. James Hermeson, and the solicitor's name or the landlord's name is actually a resident in this, accommodation, and he pays his rent of £1,340 per month. It's very important. So you need to have that, your tenancy agreement. And some people put pictures of their accommodation. I think it's irrelevant. I didn't do that. So that's what you're going to provide as well. I'm going to try and put a full list of all these documents I'm talking about in the description box, so you can actually go back to it to check as your checklist. Okay? Yeah, so you could do that. So that's a way to prove your residency. Also, in the bank statement that I said that we had to print, that's just to show that there's income coming in. You can also underline places where he pays his rent every month. So I did that for the past 6 months in pencil, not biro please, in pencil, everywhere he paid his rent out of his account. Fortunately for you guys, in the United Kingdom, everything is traceable. It's not like Nigeria that you can say, oh, I can't find the slip. You must be able to find the slip. Talking about slips, so that's all for residency and accommodation, that's all. Talking about slips, we're going to go to the really important part, which is the financial requirements. Now you would need to submit all his pay slips from his workplace, meaning the pay slip is what they used to pay him, literally what shows how much he earns every month. You don't just need to get that. He needs to go to his employer and get a letter saying that the pay slips are genuine. Now, for example, my husband works in I'm not going to share. He works in an organization, and there you actually have access to just go online and download your pay slips. So anybody could have just gone there to print that. But you need a letter from your employer stating that this pay slips handed in by Mr. Jameson, that's the fake name that we're using, are genuine, signed by your employer. This is actually very important. If you don't provide it, you've just made yourself just fail for no reason, or let your application to be looked at with scrutiny. Sometimes if you're favored, they might actually call you and say, oh, this is outstanding, everything else is there. But sometimes they cannot say you have failed to prove that you earned so and so amounts per year. So that's really important. So that's that with the financial requirements for the pay slips. Another thing for financial requirements is to show your proof of employment. I really hope you guys are writing this down. Proof of employment is so important. Your husband cannot be lazy, your wife cannot be lazy. I'm going to be using here a lot because that was my own situation. It's so important. You need to actually go to your employer, your husband or whoever is sponsoring needs to go to the employer and say, I'm going to apply for this. So they're going to address the letter is to the Home Office or to the British Embassy, the consular office. This person resumed his employment January 2018 and has been working with us and is on a permanent or temporary staff earning £40,500 per year after tax, NI number, blah 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 blah. It needs to, NI number is national insurance number. You need to provide that letter. It's important. Let me say it again. You need to provide that letter. It is important. And if your spouse has multiple jobs, that's fine as well. As long as he meets the financial quota of the earnings per year, he needs to get a letter from each employer that you're using as the joined income. Yeah, if you're using savings to, I don't know, I'm assuming that you just need to print your bank statement, but I know that most people use their earnings, which is projected. You don't need to have all that money in your account, but you earn that, so you're able to sponsor and ensure that somebody can rely on you without having to, have access to public funds. Yeah, so that's that. Now, the English requirements. If you schooled in the UK for undergrad, even if you're not British, you will not need to go through this process. If you have a master's in the United Kingdom as well as me, you will not need to go through this process. Now, they just need to prove that you can speak English. Now, you may not need to take a test if you have a degree that was taught in English. Unfortunately, even though Nigeria is an English-speaking country, they don't still regard us as having, good English. So even if, let's say you went to Unilag, or you went to Covenant University, or you went to Babcock, you were obviously taught in English, but that's not enough. You can't just submit your transcript and your certificate. You need to submit it to a body in the UK. I'll put the name here, and you pay a certain fee. These people, this is way before your application, these people will certify that your degree is equivalent to a UK's bachelor degree. I actually knew someone that was actually denied because of this. So please ensure that you do this. If you were not taught in the UK, you don't have a degree in the United Kingdom. I didn't say Canada, I said UK. So you need to submit your certificates to NARIC. Now NARIC is a body in the UK that is certified that your results are taught, or your degree was taught in English. It's very important, as I've said. So please make sure you do that. Make sure you complete that before you actually proceed with your application, because you need to submit it with your application pack. Now once that's done, as I said, if you schooled in the UK or you have a master's degree in the United Kingdom, all you need to do is just to put in your certificates in your application pack. I'm still going to come to your documents later on, but let's just talk about all the things you need to get before your application. Now, I forgot to mention in the beginning, there's a health requirement. You need to take a tuberculosis test. I know, yes, I know it's a lot. You need to take a tuberculosis test. Now, practically every hospital in Nigeria can do this test, but the UK government does not trust any Nigerian hospital, and I don't blame them because there's a lot of corruption. So you will need to go to the UNICEF hospital in Nigeria, and there's actually 2 branches in the, I think for Nigeria, Ghana and Niger. There's only 2 branches and they're in Nigeria. So one in Lagos and there's one in Abuja. It's on Isaac John in Ikeja. That's the one. Now, guess how much this test costs? 54,000 naira. Yep, I said it. 54,000 naira, which is about $150, if I'm not mistaken. Thereabouts. That's how much we paid for it. At the time of this video, it may have gone up, it may have gone less, depending on the current exchange rates, but that is how much it is. In an average hospital, I think it's about 10 to 20k, or 54,000 naira. Now, this process is a bit gruesome in the sense that you first of all need to mail them. There is no portal for you to apply for it. So obviously, the UK government on their website gives you an opportunity to give you the email where you're supposed to mail. I'm not going to do that work for you. You go ahead and get the exact email, because I don't want to hear stories that I mailed where Tosin told me to mail. It's IOM something something medical something. Yes, that is it. I think I don't know the meaning of IOM, don't let me guess. So yes, that's what it is. You go there, you book an appointment. I recommend that you book the appointment literally like maybe a month before you go. Then you check back at least 3 days before you go there, just to be sure that your appointment is there, because they always have a master list which they use. When I did mine, I think I booked mine a month before I actually went. Yes, about a month there. If not a month, maybe about 3.5 weeks before I went. I messaged them, I sent a mail to them. I was responded to by a certain lady called Mary Jane. I don't know who that is. She responded to me, told me, sent me a brochure telling me where to pay, and to ensure that I actually make the payments before I come. Now, a lot of people advise that, you know, you make the payments by bank. So you actually go physically to the bank and you make the payments and you get a deposit slip, so that stories that touch you not enter. Your homegirl didn't do that. Ain't nobody got time to be going to Nigerian banks. I paid it online with my normal bank, mobile bank app, and I got a receipt from my bank. Like, you know, when you pay something, you can actually download receipts. I don't know about any bank, but the bank that I use, I was able to do that. Then I sent them a mail saying that I have made the payment. Can they please acknowledge that they received my payment, which may take like 2 days for them to do. That's why you have to do things ahead of time. I don't encourage anyone to do this application gra. In fact, give yourself 6 months to compile your documents, do everything they need to do before you actually submit. Click on that submit. Give yourself that time before you go for your biometrics. Give yourself about 6 months to plan this. I'm not even joking. I know what I'm talking about. Okay, maybe 3 months, but just so that you're not under unnecessary duress, give yourself time today to do this. So when you're done with your court wedding, that's why a lot of people that want to move abroad do their registry way before when their white wedding is, so they can actually apply with that. I'm still going to come back to, even if you do a white wedding and you get a church certificate, why it may not be valid. So in the UK, if you get married in the church, you don't need to do a civil wedding, because the certificate is, you know, is permissible, but a lot of churches in Nigeria actually don't renew their marriage license. So, and a lot of the UK immigration does not believe in a lot of churches because it can be fabricated. So they believe in the Ikoyi registry. I know that there was a lot of tabloid going on sometimes saying that Ikoyi registry is not recognized. It's a lie. Don't even acknowledge it's a lie. Go and get your wedding there. Now, go and do your wedding there. When I did my Ikoyi registry video, a lot of people asked me that why Ikoyi registry. I don't know. I used the Ikoyi registry because that's the closest to my house in Nigeria, and also because I think I heard that they are the most organized compared to other branches. I think there's one in VI, there's some on the mainland, but my sister, make I not lie to you, just go to Ikoyi registry. Go and watch my video to get yourself up to date on the process. But just go to Ikoyi registry if you're moving abroad. So yeah, so that's what we did. I sent them an email, payment was acknowledged, and then on the day that I chose an appointment for 9 o'clock. So I went really early in the morning. There was a lot of queue. I met over 60 people there. Unbelievable. I'm not even joking. Over 60 people. Different countries, Canada, New Zealand, Australia, people that were moving out of Nigeria. They were all coming to that center to do their test. The test in itself does not take a lot of time. The tuberculosis test doesn't even take time, to be honest. It's literally like a 10-minute process. It's the waiting, the queuing, the scanning, the waiting for the certificate. Just plan like that whole day. You're not achieving anything. So if you get there by, let me say, 8 o'clock, just know that you're going to leave around 3. Just know that the whole day is gone. So I think I chose a Monday because I went really early. And go with your power bank, you know, go with your charger. They don't allow food there, but they have a fast food where you can buy food. After about maybe when you're done with the test, literally like an hour, they call you back. There's a waiting period of about an hour, 40 minutes to an hour. Then you get your tuberculosis certificate, which is just a paper. They put it in like a sleeve. I'll put a picture of what I mean. You put it inside and then you don't rumple it, you don't squeeze it. So I just went and I filed it in my application pack folder. That's what I did. So that's the health requirement. Then obviously when you're doing your application, you obviously have to pay the amount. Now it costs a lot. I'm not even going to lie to you. I think the entire application cost us in Naira maybe almost 1.5 million or more. I think that's how much it cost us, yeah, or more to do the application. In pounds, I think maybe, okay, so let me tell you what you're going to pay for the application itself. Go and check the website for the current amounts from Nigeria. We paid for priority, which still took about 2 months to come out, but we paid for priority, which I think was an extra £400. The health surcharge, which is I think what am I saying, was about £500 for the health surcharge. Then we paid the tuberculosis test, the 54k. Then I paid to send my documents to the UK. I'm going to tell you why I had to send documents to the UK. So that's how much it cost. So now the main application. Now that you've done all these processes, the main application, you go on the website. I suggest that you and your spouse, you sit down together and you do the application. If obviously he's abroad and you're not able to do it, I and my husband filled it together. If you're not able to do it, I suggest that you guys have a video call or you have a long phone call and you do it carefully. Don't let your husband fill it on your behalf because he might actually make mistakes. You too, obviously you get to proofread it before you submit this draft, but take out your time and fill the form. All the websites where you need to fill the form is on the UK Gov websites. Please go and do your due diligence. You fill the forms carefully, ensure that your date of birth. And one thing I do is, now I've been going abroad since I was a kid, and luckily I have a parent where every of our application that we've done, my 5-year visa, my uni visa, my study visa, everything, I have them downloaded. Now the reason we have these documents is because if you want to fill a new visa so that the information can tally, not like you lied in the previous one, but sometimes you're getting older, you may forget, choice of words may change. So for instance, you can say in 2011 you went to the US, because they'll ask you the other countries you've been to. So I can say maybe in 2011 I went to America to spend time with my family, and then in my spousal application I go and write 2011 I went abroad for shopping. It's not the same reason. They're probably both true, but it has to be consistent with your previous applications. So actually try and look for your previous applications that as if you've been abroad before, which helps because you'll be wondering why you've been courting somebody and you've never had to go and see them, or it hasn't come either. So yeah, so that really helped a lot. And I just brought out my previous application, like my previous visa applications, and I used it to fill the new one for all the dates, the times I went. They'll ask you if you've ever been treated in the UK before. I schooled here, so obviously I put that as well. a lot of questions that obviously is not in my place to ask you about you, and please don't lie. I actually have a friend that was denied. She was denied because she lied on a visa application 2 years ago. So please don't lie. Be as honest. You don't even want to start your life with lies. Be as honest as possible. If you've never been abroad, put it there. You've never been abroad. If you have been abroad, put it there. If you've been convicted of any crime, put it there. When I say convicted, I know it sounds like such a strong word, but did you know that like even driving offenses, you are required to put it there? So let me say you went in the UK and then you went to go and drive, or you were drunk driving and you were arrested with a DUI for DUI or something. You have to put it there. Just be as transparent, as honest as possible. Make sure you fill the forms accurately, you make no mistakes, then you submit. As you are even submitting, the next stage is for you to make the payment. So we did not pay from my Nigerian account. We paid through my husband's UK bank account, and all the payments went through. I think the first time he declined because the bank was wondering why such huge transaction was coming out of his account at that time of the night, because we paid at night. So it's important that you actually call your bank first and tell them that a payment is about to come out or whatnot, and then you make the payment. Do you understand what I'm saying? I hope you do. Yeah. So when you make the payment, you pay the health surcharge. You'll be given a GWF number. I don't know what that stands for, but a number, a really long number. Make sure you screenshot it, write it down, save it on your phone as a contact, because when you're submitting your documents, you will need to put that at the top of your application pack. Now, stationery that I suggest that you buy to submit your application are the clear files, the sleeves, the clear sleeves. Don't perforate, don't staple, don't, because it just makes it harder for your caseworker to scan and photocopy your documents. Every important document that you submit, everything should be in original. Your marriage certificate, I said I was going to touch on that earlier. Do not submit two certificates. Don't go and submit the one they gave you in church and the one you gave you in court. Choose one. I just put the one that they gave us at the registry. So that was the only certificate that I put for marriage. I put our wedding pictures, I put my uni degree there, I put my birth certificate, I put my which other original document did I put there? My business registration, because I said that I was employed, so you needed to see that I was employed, and I was the sole owner to my company account, sole signatory to my company account. So I printed out my bank statements from the bank. I went to my bank and I applied for my bank statements. On the spot I got it, I put it in the pack. And now when you go for your, sorry, pardon me, I'm skipping. When you do the application online, you'll be required to choose a date for your biometric. Biometric is to take your thumbprint, take your photo, peradventure that you get the visa. That's what's going to be. The picture you take on that is what's going to be on the visa, or on the, not visa, the residency permit. Yeah, the residency permit, which is like a card, like an ATM card shape. That's what will be on it. So when you you're going to take all these documents there for them to see. When you go and take your biometric, they will give you a document that shows the order in which your documents should be arranged. Now, Nigeria, TLS Contact, I think that's the partner that they work with for the biometric in Nigeria, do not accept documents for spousal visa again. Spousal visa is called settlement. They do not accept documents for settlement to the United Kingdom again. You have to post your documents by yourself to Sheffield. And don't think that you're just going to put it into DHL and you're good. No. DHL does not deliver parcels to a post office address, and these documents are literally your life documents in one folder. If you use DHL, you're on your own, your documents are going to get lost. So what they were advised us to do is you should send it through DHL to your house, to your partner's house address in the UK. Then he will now take it to the post office, which is Royal Mail, and use first class signed with a return envelope so that they can send it back when they are done. To return envelope to you, and they will literally get it at the PO box address the next day, and you can track it. Yeah, so listen, you use FedEx or DHL or any other way you want to send it to your spouse in the UK. If he's not in the UK, wait for him till he's going or when he's taking it back, or you send it to a family friend there. Then those ones will now take it to the post office for you in the UK. Royal Mail delivers to PO box, and then you now send. So in your application pack, make sure it's arranged according to the order in which you were given at TLS Contact. You send it. Ensure that you collect the receipt, you take a picture in case you lose the hard paper, scan it, mail it to yourself, mail it to your spouse. Now, your documents will not be returned until after you've gotten the visa in most cases, or you've gotten the settlement permit in most cases, which is literally maybe the ideal time that this process takes is 12 weeks. I forgot to say that, which is 3 months. It takes 3 months for you to get your documents, for you to get your settlement. I'm not even joking, it takes 3 months. We paid for priority and it came out in 37 working days, which was actually 57 or 58 normal days, which was actually, it took 2 months. It took 2 months, guys, and I paid like almost £500 or even more for priority, yet it's still too, and that's the same thing with everybody. Nobody got it in 1 week, nobody has ever got it in 1 month. Trust me, from Nigeria, nobody has. 34 working days. I didn't say 34 days, or 34 working days. So yeah, we submitted that and I just went on with my life. When you TLS Contact will send you a mail saying that your application has been received, it's been transferred. So if you want to give yourself anxiety or heart attack, you can keep refreshing the TLS tracking something to see if they've made a decision on your visa. But I don't advise it. It's unnecessary anxiety. You don't need that drama in your life. You submitted, you trust God, you've given the right information, your spouse can afford it, you've proven your relationship, you've paid your health surcharge, you didn't leave any stone unturned, you will be granted the visa because it's on humanitarian grounds. It's love. They can't deny you of living with your spouse. It's not by merit. It's by just following the process, like following the requirements that has been stated on the Gov website. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's about it about the application process. I'm just trying to think off the top of my head if there's anything that I missed out that I did not discuss that is actually absolutely important. Yeah. When you fill the Appendix 2 VFA4, that's the name of the document for the application. So you're filling 2 forms, the online form and the one you print out manually from the Gov website. There will be a part that you can put additional information, so you can actually add other things you'd like them to know that maybe makes your applications unique. Let's say maybe I don't know, it depends to you, on you. So there's a part for that to put any other additional information, just to put that, maybe explaining your spouse's finances, explaining why you were denied a visa previously, whatever it is that may be specific to you, you need to put it there. You can put it there. So that's that. So let's say after 60 days, this maybe that's like maybe 37 working days, you get a mail saying that your application has been completed and a decision has been taken. Go and receive your passport. They never tell you by mail if you're successful or not. You just know that they made a decision. So there's a little bit of suspense the day you get that mail, and then obviously you've done your bits, you've done everything you need to do. You should get the visa, and if you don't, you get an opportunity to appeal, and then you go to the office, you get a letter saying it's been successful with a visa vignette telling you that you should leave the country in 30 days. So you have a month from the day you get the visa vignette, which is just like something on your passport, like a visa page. And once you enter into the UK, that's when you now get the BRP. It's not before. When you step on the British soil, you probably, when you're filling your application, you will have picked somewhere close to your house or your spouse's house, or you ask them to mail it to you. Then you go there, you just show them the letter that they asked you, and then you pick up your BRP. C'est fini. And then in 5 years you are set to collect your British passport. Shikina. That's all. That's all the process. So yeah, thank you so much. My mouth is actually paining me. I think I've been talking for almost 40 minutes. So please make sure you like this video. At least comment. Tell me thank you for my efforts. Please like, share this video, like this video, tell your friends about it, bookmark it. You know what I mean? And yeah, so that's about it. I love you guys so much, and I wish you all the best in your marital endeavors to United Kingdom. And when you get here, make sure you send me a mail and say to see you're the real plug. And make sure you check the description box below for more information, more documents you need to do, and links to where necessary. Bye bye.